Circle there, and that's where the Arabs like to come out and greet someone who's just lost a loved one with a few rocks, just to remind you of who you are. In a sense, standing here in Yonkers, and we thank the Lincoln Park Synagogue for hosting this event, and Rabbi Binias, I'm ashamed. I have no other way of putting it, and I'm the last one who wants to be standing here criticizing the state of Israel. But you judge a country, you judge a people by how it cares for its dead. It's that simple. Har HaZeitim. We're not even talking about Beit Shemesh or somewhere else. We're talking about Har HaZeitim, the Mount of Olives. And we have to sit here in Yonkers raising money and putting political pressure on the state of Israel to put a few policemen there, to allow us to install cameras that we hope they'll monitor so that they can react when Arabs come or Muslims come because they want to destroy tombstones in the cemetery. From information I've gotten, it appears that the PA, the Palestinian Authority, has a line item on their budget. They pay certain people 1,000 shekels a month just to spend their time destroying tombstones. I saw a video, I'm sure some of you also saw it. I saw this poor man working really hard to tip over stones and smash them. I actually felt sorry for him. I thought he was working really hard for this political statement that they were paying him to make. But I'm ashamed to be an American that has to stand here and point this out to them. But even when talking to Jews, I don't always find that the import of what we're talking about is there. So I want to tell you something about Har HaZeitim, because sometimes you need a non-Jew to give you a swift kick in the behind to understand what's really important, to really move you. At the base of Har HaZeitim, at the bottom, is an entrance to the old city, very close to the hotel, Har HaZeitim. And we are told from the prophet Ezekiel that when the Mashiach comes, he will descend from where that hotel is now, the 7 Arches. He'll descend through the cemetery. And he will enter what's called the Golden Gate. We call it Har HaRachamim, the gates of mercy. And when Mashiach comes, he'll enter through that gate, go up to Har HaZeitim, and God will create for us the third temple. So, do all of you believe this? You can nod your heads. I'm not going to shoot you. Some people shook their heads. Let me tell you who does believe it, the Muslims. The Ottoman Sultan, Suleiman the Magnificent, in 1541, learned about the Jewish Mashiach who's coming. He came up with a brilliant plan. A Muslim came up with a brilliant plan. He sealed the gate. If you look at this gate of Yerushalayim, it's sealed because he thought that he could keep the Mashiach out. And then other Muslims came up with other ideas. It's a Muslim belief that Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, who is supposed to herald the coming of the real Mashiach, that Elijah the prophet is a descendant of Aaron the priest. So, if you're a descendant of Aaron the priest, you are a Kohen. And a Kohen can't go through a cemetery, right? Well, technically, I'm going to tell you this wrong. But Elijah, they wanted to keep him from bringing the Mashiach, so the Muslims planted some dead bodies of their own there. They opened a Muslim cemetery. They were also opening graves and putting nothing in them and marking them with a stone so it'll look like a busy Muslim cemetery. But the plan was, because they believe in what every Jew should believe in his heart, they believe that they have a way of keeping out Eliyahu Hanavi by making it into a Muslim cemetery. And then, the coup de grace, they built a mosque there because Israelis, we Jews are very sympathetic and easygoing. So they built a mosque there because Jews will never tear down a mosque. So even if it's sitting on Jewish national land, in a Jewish cemetery, illegally built without permits or permission of the state, we Jews would never do anything to it. So in essence, they think they've locked us out of that golden gate. It's called Har HaZeitim, the gates of mercy, because Jews went there to pray. They begged God for mercy, because that's the place where all hope begins for the Jewish people. With the coming of Mashiach, the world will open for the Jew. Yerushalayim will be the true Jewish capital of the Jewish people. Har HaZeitim. And nobody cares. If I was the Prime Minister of Israel, my first act, I'd blow that wall open. I'd open that gate there, and I would put up a golden gate there. And I'd say to the world, yes, that is the gate for the Mashiach. And we opened it up so we shouldn't have any difficulty getting in. But that's not the way we Jews are. Well, why do the Goyim believe it more than we do? Why do the Muslims care more than we do? That's what you have to ask yourselves tonight. All we're doing here tonight, and you're going to hear from great speakers, people who've been there, people who've been attacked there, believe it or not, United States congressmen, law enforcement people who were there, who were attacked. All we're trying to do is give the government of Israel a little stuff, pay for some cameras that they'll have to monitor, some special kinds of fencing, and gates on a cemetery. Any of you ever seen a cemetery without gates? Not only are there gates in the cemetery, there's gates within the gates. But not our Har HaZeitim. It's wide open to anyone who wants to come and desecrate it. So I'd like you to keep these things in mind tonight as you listen to our speakers and dig into your checkbooks to help us buy the things that are necessary for our Har HaZeitim. I don't know about you, but if Mashiach comes and he'll step out of the Seven Arches Hotel and he'll pull his donkey out behind him and he'll be standing at the top of the hill looking down. If I were he, I'd turn around and walk back. But Jew can't protect his loved ones. But Jew can't provide security for his deceased parents, for the founders of the state of Israel, the man who developed modern Hebrew. If we can't protect our own, Mashiach would say, well, how would you protect the state of Israel? Where is your strength if you can't protect dead people? I believe we're going to have a short video introduction now. Am I right? Ed?
Sites on the Mount of Olives, Har HaZeitim, the resting place of our people since biblical times. But here I find no rest. In every row, on every terrace, along every ancient wall, the signs of hatred mar this holy ground. Here a pile of debris, there a makeshift playing field, Jewish gravestones as goalposts. I have come to honor my ancestors, my rabbis, my sages, the prophets, our scholars and leaders, the backbone of our people. But here I find dishonor and defilement. My stomach turns. Can this possibly be the place where King David wept? Where the Kohanim would go to prepare the ashes to purify the temple? Where the new month would be announced? Where the presence of God will come one day soon, splitting the mountain in two to herald the Messianic age? And I think, what would I do if this were the cemetery of my own family? My parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles, that they uprooted to build their houses on, their roads, even a hotel, built atop thousands of Jewish graves. Today they dump their trash and tramp through on their way to work, using graves like stepping stones. And I realize This is the cemetery of my family, the oldest and holiest Jewish cemetery in the world. There is just no way that my own relatives are not among the 150,000 buried here. And that's when I think, no, this cannot be allowed. We have come too far, fought too hard. We rebuilt some of the damage they did during the Jordanian occupation when tens of thousands of stones were destroyed and the bones of my people scattered in the dirt. But today, even beneath the Israeli flag, they still desecrate. They still hurl stones at peaceful mourners. Our work is clearly not over. So I will raise my voice and demand an end to this horror show. I will tell every Jew, every peace-loving soul on earth what is happening here and what needs to happen here from now on. I will ask each of you to join with me in restoring sanity to this place. And then I will rest.
The International Committee for the Preservation of Har HaZeitim is committed to stopping the defilement of Judaism's oldest and most holy cemetery. Your support will help ensure that fences are built, security cameras installed and monitored, police patrols increased, and tough new laws on desecration of graves and on violence against mourners and visitors are passed in the Knesset. Visit www.harhazeitim.org to learn about our plans to protect and rebuild Har HaZeitim.